What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 8, the final episode of my NHL 25 Nashville Predators franchise mode series. As always, guys, thank you so much for the support on this series. If you could leave a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Also, while you're down there, subscribe if you haven't. And before we get into the video, guys, I gotta give a big shout out to my guy, Connor McDavid, with the golden goal last night, helping Canada to beat the USA and take home the Four Nations Championship. 15 years ago was Sid doing it in Vancouver for the 2010 Olympics, and now it's Connor McDavid doing it in 2025 for the Four Nations face-off. I was so pumped seeing that, so shout out to Connor McDavid, aka McJesus. Really excited to see now actually what goes down next year in February 2026 when we got the Olympics in Italy with every single nation competing. Should be a ton of fun. Now, getting back, guys, to the franchise, if you missed the last episode, the Carolina Hurricanes are an absolute juggernaut, led by Austin Matthews. They've won back-to-back Stanley Cups for the three-peat, and I think cementing themselves as a dynasty. So I'm hoping, in this final year we can take them down. Bit of a David versus Goliath thing, especially since with the salary cap we actually lost a ton of good players. I think we've kept the core of the team together, but some of the depth definitely has been lost. Now look at the team here. Philip Forsberg's down at 86, but he still has had 100 plus points in 4 of the last 5 seasons. So the dude's been absolutely unreal. Even last year, he dropped 86 by the deadline, still performed great. I mean, preseason, I know it's preseason, but he's a point per game right now. So hopefully playing on that top line with Stenberg, with Marner, all getting a +5, he'll still do really well. I mean, with the chemistry boost, he's a 91. Diorio there on the second with Svechkov and Misa. Should be a really solid second line, also getting a +5. Brooks here, we just drafted first overall. Had to go up Anderson and McKenny for him, but I mean, franchise potential, I think he'll be worth it, especially if he does grow during the season. We needed somebody that could be an impact player on an entry-level deal. Now I saw some people saying try and trade for a couple high 80s that are cheap. So this is something I'll look to do at the deadline. The thing is, we have to find a team that has 2 guys that are high 80s on cheap deals. That honestly might not be possible, but definitely I'll keep my eye out. Otto Raptor there in the middle looks really good. Gensel as well. Only need 2, but he's got a really good shot, which should be fine on the third line. Joshua Stevenson there we brought in, and Stenberg's our 4th line. Defensively here, you got Hughes and Clark on our top pair now. They get a +5, so Clark's playing like 100 overall, which I love. He's honestly going to be such a good defenseman. Basically, perfect puck skills. Shot there is outstanding. Physical is honestly a lot better than I expected. Defensively, good too. I would actually say his skating should be higher than it currently is. I think he should have, 90s by now. Cripps here on the second pairing with Tapper has actually been a good pickup by us. Bottom pairing could be better. We got Reed there and Mertka, both 81. But luckily for us, they have really good D-awareness, 89 and 90 respectively. Getting a +1. They're not going to be playing a ton, so should be okay. In terms of the goaltenders, we're going to have a tandem this year, both 87s, Saros and Prust. Now, I'll keep an eye on the ratings, because if one of them does drop, or even Prust goes up, the coach will no longer have them splitting games, so I'll have to do it myself. But I want to have Saros the entire franchise. That's what we've done. And I do feel bad, so far we haven't made it past the second round of the playoffs. And, it's not Saros' fault. You look here, he's had some really solid season for us. Doesn't think, never blow a 900 save percentage, which honestly in this game is pretty impressive. Usually I have a goalie just have a bad year, especially our first year we tanked, and still Saros played good for us. Now look at the power play here, guys. Misa, Marner, Forsberg, Stenberg, Clark, absolutely unreal. They get a +5. Power play 2 there also I think looks really solid. The 4-mans here, of course, the first one's gonna be stacked. Even the second one I think is great. PK wise, first PK gets a +4. Svechkov, Ratu, of course, so good defensively. PK2, Forsberg also solid. Stevenson we just brought in. PK3 not too bad. Stenberg actually a lot better than I thought. I mean, defensive awareness isn't great, but 95 stick check, 5-star physical with good body check and strength, also good speed. I think he should be fine there. And then looking at the 3-man PK, I don't think we get any negative chemistry, which honestly isn't usually the case. So very happy with how the lines are looking in terms of chemistry. I'll obviously talk to guys about scheme fit, see if we can boost it a bit more. AHL, they won one Calder Cup, looking to win another. Top 6 there. I mean, all of them are 80s except for Green, but he's got 93 passing, which I think makes up for it. Even the third line, Stranges, Fisker, Moldegaard are both 80s. So team is looking pretty stacked and forward. Defensively, a couple 80s at the top D pair. Arbor Jack guy, it'll be fun to see how he does. Even if he's in the box a lot, honestly, for the final year, have some fun. Finger here as well, starting goalie, 84 medium elite. Should carry. Linglet behind him, 78 medium elite. Of course, we just drafted so many medium elite goalies throughout the years that we just kind of have an abundance of riches in terms of goaltending, which is kind of what you guys are seeing there. And now before we get started, guys, with the final sim, I will show you our ratings. So we got 93 offense, 86 defense, and 90 goaltending. I'm hoping in this 8th and final year we can finally get that Stanley Cup. Let's see what happens. And after talking to the coach about some different scheme fits, guys, you can see an updated look here at the chemistry. Third line now gets a +3. Also, Brooks up to an 82. fourth line there is also +2. Joshua 83. If you guys forget from last episode, I chose the season boost to be physical, so I think that helped some guys. Forsberg as well there is now an 87, was 86. And I think defensively too, Tapper up to an 88, Cripps an 86. They got both a +1, same with Mertka. Also defensive chemistry there behind the top pairs, much better now. So, hopefully not only that boost in chemistry, but also that boost in rating will help this team just a little bit more. All right, guys, so we're at the end of December now with a record of 24-8-3. We're actually doing really well here, better than I expected. The Utah Hockey Club, though, is a win above us with 53. Panthers there also have 53. Hurricanes only 45, of course. That's kind of our main competition. AHL team here, 12-12-3. Ooh, not a great season. At least, great start to this season. For having a pretty stacked team with a really good goalie, that's concerning. So I'm gonna make a couple small changes here, guys, to the AHL team. Engstrom's down the top pair instead of Jack Guy, as Jack Guy, of course, an enforcer D-man, only has 1 assist. I thought being down in the AHL, Jack Guy performed a bit better offensively. I remember when I watched him back in the OHL, he definitely wasn't like, the player he is now. He had a lot more offense to his game, but obviously he had to change that to get an NHL job. Now, forward-wise, we're gonna put Green on the second line, Gute there on the top. Try, some small changes there. Hopefully those moves are enough to get the AHL team going. And this is interesting, guys. Tapper's gone back down to being 87, but he's gained 3 X factors. I don't really know how you drop in rating and gain X factors. Something I guess to expect, NHL 25. And we're at the trade deadline now, guys. Record of 43-14-4, so we're continuing to crush it. 90 points so far on the season, which is good for first place in the NHL, so that's awesome to see. In terms of the AHL, 32-17-5. They're actually second place, so I guess those 2 small changes we made benefited the team. Arbor Jack Guy is not a top-pairing defenseman, even in the AHL apparently. Now leading the AHL team in scoring is actually Antonio Strange there, 51 points. And leading the way for the NHL team is actually Ivor Stenberg there, 66. So we'll see if we can get the NHL team some help. We don't have a ton of cap space, but obviously we have a huge trade piece in that franchise player. We've also got a few medium league goalies that we can move on from. I think we have one more medium league player we just drafted, Noah Dobson. I don't really think there's any way we could fit him in, unfortunately. Matthew Nyes. I don't think so. Carlson, I mean, they're all 1 year. They would be amazing to get. I don't think it can happen. Sorokin's actually really low valued for how good he is. Will Smith there, 88, kind of nasty third line right wing or something. Drake Batson, 2 years left. Swayman there, okay. So, I mean, Will Smith probably doesn't have a no trade clause either. Now, we actually can trade for him if we retain, because right now we can take on almost the full thing. We're only like 10K over the max salary cap. And look at this, guys. Brooks is now at 86, so I think we probably just hold on to him, especially if we can get Smith without giving him up. So Sims here we just drafted, but obviously like, not gonna be able to help us. Same with Cyphers there. And you know what? Before we go for Smith, we might as well try to get one of the 90s. And now look at this, guys. Nyes and Carlson have pretty much equal value. Lafreniere is actually a little bit less. I think just because he's older, he's actually making less money. Now, they're all clause protected, so we'll see if any of them we could actually trade for. So Carlson we can, Lafreniere we can, and Matthew Nyes we cannot. Okay, so I think we should go for Lafreniere just because, again, he's got a little bit less value than Carlson, so should be easier to get. So we could give up these 2 elite prospects, guys, Sims and Cyphers. Obviously, last year, they can't really do much for us. If we do both of them, we could get Lafreniere. Normally, probably don't do this on a rental, although, potentially could re-sign Lafreniere if this wasn't the last year. I think they might just do this one for all. We could still have like first round picks, some goalies we could trade for maybe a little boost on the bottom pair D. Rangers say no, quite far off. 2 medium elites, that's kind of nuts. Try throwing in our first round pick this year. We're going all in on Lafreniere. And they still say no, but it's only a bit off. They'll throw in a future 7th. And now they say yes. The extra 7th is so jokes. I'm going to see if we can potentially, like I said, boost the bottom D pair. Because, they do have good D awareness, but they're only 81s. If we could bring in one, the guy that's like, an 83 or something, that would definitely help us out. And now, guys, I see on Columbus Blue Jackets, they got EJ Emery on the block, 25-82. Defensive defenseman there. D awareness is a little bit worse than Merca, but physical stats are way better. 90 for body checking, strength, and physical. Could definitely bring him in, only on an entry-level deal, so shouldn't have to give anything back. Can we get him for a second? It looks to be equal 1-to-1. They said it was too far off. Are you kidding me? Throw in a 5th? And they say yes. Okay, so again, we're, just under league maximum salary cap there. If we can find something else that makes sense, I'll try it, but pretty happy. I guess, one thing I hadn't actually checked was to see how our 2 goalies are doing. I was looking, and they were getting equal games, which is nice, although Saros is now in 86. Last time I looked, that was in December. They were both 87s. Of course, take my eye off the ball for a second. Saros drops in rating. He's got 914 there in 24 games. In 38 games, Prust has a 919. Okay, so, I mean, Prust is performing better. It probably does make sense to lean on him here as the starter, but Saros should still get a lot of games, only being 1 overall lower. If Prust falters at all, we could run Saros in the playoffs, but as it stands, he's got the better numbers, so we probably just have to stick with him. Let's see, Finger 2 in the A's, only got a 909, which for an 84 in the AHL, you'd expect better. And I was looking around the league, guys, and I really want this Puhaka guy in the Leafs, 22 years old, 84 overall defenseman, only making $1 million. 88 D awareness, 92 shot block, 90 stick check, because I'm 4.5-star defense. He's super slow. This guy's got to be the slowest guy in the NHL, but if he's playing the third D pair and the penalty kill, that should be okay. 4.5-star physical as well. I think he's definitely, an upgrade on what we have. And I think, too, I realized we actually can trade away Jake Gensel, as of course Lafreniere is coming in for him. Gensel's not doing that bad, 12 goals, 12 assists, but yeah, we definitely can't afford to move him here, just to make sure there's no salary cap issues. Now, got a couple hours left. We still have, I think, a good amount of pieces. Looking at some of the prospects, we'll try, Brophy. Pillman there, already a 73 at 19. I feel like he's a guy you'd probably hold on to. Then again, Reed, Mertka, we could include them as well. Plus 29. Oh my gosh, actually, should we trade these guys? Are they doing insane? Plus 22? Oh, man, okay. EJ Emery here was rocking a minus 13. Now, of course, there is, like, a better team in front of him now, which I think is going to play a big part of that. But again, guys, look at this Puhaka guy. Like, he's just so much better on paper. I guess we can hold on to Reed just in case, but Merca here, I think we can definitely give up with Gensel, and then maybe throw in, like, a second-round pick next year. I don't want to trade in, like, a first or a second, anything further than a year away. It just seems a little bit cheap. So, value now is pretty much all on our side. And the Leafs do say yes. So, should have a fully revamped defense. Lafreniere is our third-line winger with Ratu, with our franchise guy. We should be looking very, very good. And again, I like the fact we kept Reed just to make sure, in terms of chemistry, we can have the best option there on the bottom D pair. And so the trade deadline is not complete, guys. I'm hoping the moves we made is enough to make us a Stanley Cup champion. Looking around the league, you got Fabro returning to the Blue Jackets there. Hendrix Lapierre also to the Blue Jackets. Okay, Plant there, the Red Wings. Owen Beck to the Jets. Luca Cagnani there to the Blackhawks. Oliver Moore to the Red Wings. I wouldn't mind that. Huselius to the Flames. Bruce Wicks there to the Jets. Let's see, anything else? Brendan Rasson to the Jets. Jake Neighbors there to the Canadians. You got Texty there to the Red Wings, so they're pretty active here. Of course, our trade for Lafreniere, probably the biggest move of the day. Terry there to the Seattle Kraken's actually pretty big as well. And Ethan Gauthier, they're also going to the Red Wings, so they're really busy. And so after the trade deadline, guys, here's an updated look at the team. First line, of course, we're keeping together. Second line's now Diorio at the right wing spot, Misa back playing center, and then Lafreniere on the left. So I think that top six is nasty. Third line there, you got Ratu, Svechkov, and Brooks. Honestly, we could even move Brooks up to the second line because he's only one overall below Diorio, but he's got that franchise potential. Chemistry, though, does go way down. Diorio is actually playing pretty good, too. 24 goals, 19 assists. We'll leave Brooks there. If he gets higher in than Diorio, he'll get the jump. Joshua, Stevenson, Stenberg still the fourth line. Defensively here, top four is the same, but bottom pair, I decided to go with Reed and Puhaka. Reason for this, we get a +2. Puhaka's got, I think, really nice stats. And when I tried subbing in EJ Emery here, we didn't get any boost. So I feel like if Reed's only one overall below, but then gives the entire D pair a +2, it makes sense to keep him. Plus, he has been playing really well. Like, he's got that +29. In terms of the power play, I think that's the same, but of course, Lafreniere's gonna be out there for the power play too. He's also on the 4-man power play too. In terms of the PK, I think the guy we just picked up in Buhaka's on the second penalty kill unit. So, that should look good, I think, as well too. With the X factors, PK1 now gets +5. Again, I'm hoping those moves we made just, are the cherry on top here in terms of building a Stanley Cup winning team. Also, guys, one thing that's pretty awesome, Svechkov here is now 91 overall with the gold quick pick X factor. So I think this is the most I've ever seen him grow. He became an absolute beast. You can see his stats there, just such a good all-around player, especially, defensively, physical, puck skills too. And he was averaging almost a point per game on second line, but again, he's going to be relied on heavily more on the PK, and I think we got such a good offensive players. This just gives us amazing depth. AHL, I think, is actually the exact same. So see what happens to you guys in the next month and a half. Hopefully both teams at least make the playoffs. All right, guys, for the end of the season now with the record here of 58, 19, and 5. I would say, pretty good last season, almost 60 wins. That was good for 121 points on the year, which actually gave us back-to-back President's trophies. So hopefully can, break that curse. I know the Hurricanes won the President's Trophy the one year as well as the Stanley Cup. AHL team actually did get in the playoffs there, 96 points. They got the X next to their name, currently second there in the division. I was definitely worried about them. That first couple months they were slow, and obviously we made a couple tweaks. Oh my goodness. Lafreniere, 103 points. When I traded for him, I didn't even look at the stats. I was just looking at his rating, 91 overall. I did not realize he was popping off that much. That is insane. Actually, he's not popping off that much. That is some sort of glitch. Okay, so I don't know what we were looking at there, but leading the way in scoring for our team, Stenberg just over a point per game. Martin there is close, 79. Misa as well. For second line, I think that's really good, 76. Forsberg, 74. Has slowed down. He started out the year in the mid-80s, 37, but still performed very well. Clark there, 64, not bad, +41. Svechkov, 63, same with Cripps. Good to see all the defensive scoring. We have 3 defensemen with 60+ points. It's wild. So Lafreniere here, let's take a look and see how he did with us. So 19 points from 1 games, almost a point per game. He actually did a lot better on our team than they did on the Rangers, so that is really nice to see. Hopefully can keep that up in the playoffs. Diorio there, 57. Ratu was close. I mean, not bad. Brooks, 38. 86 franchise, player. You'd like a bit more from the rookie. I know he's only playing third line as well as second power play, but I think he could have put up, 40, maybe 50 points. Puhaka here we traded for. I am curious to see how he's doing. So he's a +3 now, only 5 points, but I'm going to see him as a positive player. I think, again, he was, a boost on that team. EJ Emery here, for some reason, the assistant coach messed with my lines. Or actually, no, sorry. Emery, of course, played before the trade deadline. Okay, I know that has happened before, and I get so annoyed by it. Now, Prust did get more of the starts. And I mean, what a season. 8 shutouts, 923 save percentage, 222 goals against. This might be a Vezina winning season. Just out of curiosity, I was looking to see how much he wanted to get paid next year, because as we'd only signed him for 1 year, and he was asking for $13 million. So I think that's a sign he might be winning the Vezina. Finger down the A, 911 save percentage. Not bad, but again, for his rating, you would expect more. Reshevsky there and Gute, as well as Stranges and Stroder there, all 60+. Fedotov 55, but he comes alive in the playoffs. Kantsarov there, close to 50. Same with Green. So AHL team should be pretty dangerous again in the playoffs. And look at the entire league here, guys. Matthews is a cheat code. Wow, more than Makar. 140 points. Those are McDavid type numbers. 73 goals, 67 assists. He's 96 overall. Shots perfect. Puck skills are crazy. I mean, wow, what a player. He's got Aho playing with him, just 120. Svechnikov there, 109. That is insane. I mean, what is it? Sniper, two-way forward sniper, and they're still just dominating. Yzerman there, 104 with the Dallas Stars. A Rubrick here, of course. He's with the Calgary Flames. He got 103. Panarin had 101. Wow. What a miss by us. If you guys missed last episode, I tried to sign him. I offered him exactly what he wanted. I thought he'd sign immediately. He ended up going to Blackhawks. I should have offered him at least, extra couple $100K. And he puts up 100 points. They were playing him first line. With us, he would have been third line. But at 40 years old, 82, Panarin putting up 100 is actually unreal. Like, this is the best season he's had since, real life, 23, 24, 120. And he did it at 40 years old. I'm assuming Bedard, was playing with him. Bedard's a sniper, Panarin's a playmaker. I guess it was a sick duo. Panarin returning to Chicago. Maybe a Blackhawks fan, something to look forward to there. And Khrushchev as well, almost had 100 points playing on that top line. And in terms of the goals, guys, obviously Matthews, 73. He's going to be your leader. Defensively, Quinn Hughes, 87. Bouchard there. Makar, -32. So Clark here, 64, +41. I think he's a bit too far back of Hughes, 23 points. If he was like in the 70s, then the plus-minus might have made up for it. Goaltending-wise, so Herenstam there had the most wins with the Hurricanes. Save percentage here for a starter is going to be Prust, 923. I believe he's also got the most shutouts. Yeah, at 8. Like, that's really impressive. And then goals against here for a starter is also Prust. I mean, I don't know. 35 wins, most shutouts, save percentage goals against. It looks like a Vezina Trophy winner to me. Rookie skaters. Are you kidding me? Brooks had the most points at 38. Okay, so he's going to win the Calder. A weak rookie class, +30. Unless there's like a goalie that popped off, which honestly, I don't even know if I've ever seen a goalie win the Calder in this game. I'm like racking my brain right now. Maybe like once or twice, but does not usually happen. Again, I would take on the President's Trophy here. You had 6 teams there, the 100+ points. Calgary kind of got screwed there at 14. And last place in the entire NHL is Boston with 65. Goals for, Carolina Hurricanes there first. We're second, only 3 back. And then goals against, we actually had the best in the league. So that's pretty cool, I think. Prust and Saros are going to split the William Jennings after, being a tandem. It's looking like we're definitely going to take home some hardware here in that final year. I think I've counted 4 trophies already. Presidents, Calder, Vezina, William Jennings, assuming, of course, we don't get screwed anywhere. And look at this, guys. In the first round, we actually matched up with the Chicago Blackhawks. So Panarin, of course, gave us the cold shoulder, decided to return to the Windy City. Hopefully we can take these guys down. I mean, again, that first line, Khrushchev, Bedard, Panarin, we're basically all 100 points. Now, second line, they definitely don't have the depth. Not even close to us. But Knack, third line side, that was pretty nice. Marchessault, former player of ours, still playing at 41, 80 overall. He might want a little bit of revenge, although I feel like we were pretty fair. He played out his contract with us. Vlasic, Levshinov there. Korchinski only got to an 84. Kind of surprising. And then Guy in there, 89 overall starter. And Komiso there, 84 backup. Was actually some pretty nice goaltending. So, I know it's the first round. We're the President's Trophy winner. The Blackhawks there, of course, the 8 seed. I'm still not, getting confident at all. We got to earn this for sure. So, first 2 games here, guys, are in Nashville. Always, in these playoffs, I'm just looking for at least kind of 1 win every couple games and then just try and win that game 7. We actually come away with 2 wins, though, 5-4 and 4-2. Head to Chicago now for game 3 and 4. Unfortunately, lose game 3 there, 7-5. And game 4, though, we win 3-2. So, all we have to do now is win one of the next 3 games, which, the odds are in our favor. And we win game 5. Let's go. So, on to the second round. And of course, guys, look at this. We got the Dallas Stars, who are definitely our rival in this series. Both of us actually won our first round in 5. I feel like if we can get by Dallas, though, we can definitely win the Stanley Cup. We'll probably meet up with the Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup final if we do make it. I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, have to slay our demons here, take out the Stars, and then try and beat the Dynasty team in the Hurricanes. So they still got that absolutely nasty first line. Robertson, Johnston, Stankoven. Second line there looks really solid. Again, I think Schmaltz turned into an even better player for them. One guy I kind of wish we held on to instead of getting Marchand, but honestly at this point you probably wouldn't have fit salary-wise. Sergachev, Haskin in top pair. They got Siegenthaler there still. Definitely don't have the defensive depth either. Andre, though, still their goalie. I mean, this is a very, very good team. That's why we have not made it past them in the playoffs. Or maybe, you know what? I think we might have beat them once. They do have our number. So luckily, we have the home ice advantage. If it matters at all in the sim, I'm honestly not too sure. But let's hope it does. Game 1's a 5-2 win. Game 2's a 6-5 OT win. So that was the start we were hoping for. Game 3 in Dallas is a 3-2 OT win. What? We sweep the Dallas Stars. Let's go. This team was just tired of losing in Texas. They decided not even give them a single game. That's insane. And now in the conference final here, guys, we're going to be playing either the Canucks or the Oilers. And we get the Vancouver Canucks. Honestly, I think that's probably safer for us. You know, knock on wood, don't want to jinx us or anything. But going up against McDavid in this game is never an ideal situation. And so now look at the Canucks here, guys. You got Frank Nazar on their team playing with Petey Besser first line. So both those guys stayed. Lecker and Mackey. Zibanejad. Or actually, that's not Mika. That's Matthias. That's so funny because of course, Zibanejad almost got traded for JT Miller in real life this year. Drew O'Connor on the team still, second line. That noise I made. I mean, that bottom 6 is ugly. Defensively, also not amazing, but they do have good depth. Like, everyone there is solid, just no real number 1. And then they got Jacob Fowler, who was a 91 overall as the starter, so he leaves Montreal. Okay, so they're definitely, like, the defense is where we can kind of, you know, get the advantage on this team. Looking at the matchups here, I see their goals against is better than us. 2nd to 6th. Also, they have the best PK. Petey's got 17 points. Marner there only 13 for us. But the one thing it doesn't show is how many games they've played. If they have more games than us, then obviously it makes sense. They'd probably have a higher score. And yeah, look at it. They're 8-5, we're 8-1. So 4 extra games. Petey leading points isn't too scary. So we'll see what happens here, guys. Hopefully we can get by them, make the Stanley Cup final. I should mention, this being our first conference final, this is the furthest we've made it so far in this series. Before now, we hadn't made it past the second round, which is kind of crazy considering, you know, some of the teams we've had. Now we got Tapper, Lafreniere, Brooks, the rookie, and Ratu all scoring first period. Brooks gets another. Can he get the hat trick here? Game 1 of the conference final. And Luke Hughes gets the empty netter. How does he not give it to the rookie? Maybe he wasn't on the ice, but let's go. We'll take that Game 1 win. And now Game 2 here, guys, of course, still in Nashville. We'll have home ice advantage this whole way. 0-0 after 1. Second period, 3-1 lead. Let's go. Marner with a couple, and Diorio gets one. 6-1 now. Lafreniere there. Luke Hughes shorthanded. Brant Clark. Unfortunately, Marner also could not get the Hattie. And so for Game 3 here, guys, we're heading to Vancouver. I'm just thinking, like, the last time Vancouver and Nashville played the playoffs, I feel had to be, like, a while ago. I remember Ryan Kessler kind of popping off for the Canucks against them. Rudolph there. So Canucks open up the scoring on the power play. 2-0 now. This game might not go our way. And yeah, 3-0. We actually get shut out there by Fowler. So, I mean, wasn't expecting a shutout. We can lose one for sure. Or I should have said sweep, not a shutout. That's my mistake. We got shut out. Wasn't expecting a sweep. Game 4, though. We cannot let them tie this up. We need to keep up the pressure. 9 shots to 9, 0-0. Down 2-1. Marner again. Zibanejad, Hronik for them. Can we tie this up? Outshooting them now 25-14. And unfortunately, Zibanejad playing unreal for them. And the Canucks here tie the series up 2 apiece. So here you go, guys. Big Game 5. Winner takes the lead in the series. 1-1 after 1. Diorio and Petey. 4-3 now. Let's Diorio. Oh my goodness, he's popping off. I was gonna say hat trick. He's got 4 goals and counting. Carter Zibanejad. I mean, make it close to 4-3 game. We're more than doubling their shots. Diorio, that's why he's on the second line. Can he keep this up? 5-4. Okay, Brooks there, the rookie. He gets one, but wow, what a performance there from Diorio. Hopefully we can get more of that in the rest of these playoffs, because definitely if that's the case, should be able to win the Stanley Cup. So all we got to do now, guys, is actually win one of these next 2, and we're on to the Cup final. Game 6 here's in Van. And we're down 3-1. Zibanejad's been so good for them. Diorio, though, is scoring again. 5-2. Brooks again. I mean, these 2 young guys are playing well. Besser, Zibanejad, again, like I said, as I was saying, Zibanejad's just been so good for the Canucks. Tapper there, actually, defenseman gets one, but unfortunately, we lose that one 5-3. So it's all going to come down here to Game 7. Winner was on the Stanley Cup final. Do we know who the opponent is going to be yet? Let me take a look. No, Philly, Ottawa are actually both in Game 7 as well. So here we go, guys. Game 7 in Smashville. Hopefully, this is a team of destiny. Let's get started. First period, down 1. Frank Nazar. 2-1. Okay, Tapper again, bunting for them. Resume simulation. We need a hero here. Somebody step up. Tie this game. Let's go. Tapper got 2. I mean, the defenseman. Is someone going to help this guy? About halfway through the third period, Canucks power play. This has to be killed. Okay, that was big. Shots there still pretty much equal. 5 minutes to go now. Are you kidding me? L'Italian? Is that guy's name literally just Italy? Oh my. Heronic empty netter, and that is it. I hate, guys, when I have these series and we can't bring home a Stanley Cup, but I don't know. This team might be cursed. Game 7 conference final, and the Canucks get the better of us. When we had the 3-2 lead, I thought we were at least making the Stanley Cup final. That is heartbreaking. Wow. So Nashville Predators here still looking for their first Stanley Cup. The Canucks there get the better of us. They're actually going to play the Ottawa Senators in the Stanley Cup final. Have an all-Canadian Stanley Cup final, which is pretty cool. Hopefully the Canucks win, and they do. Okay, so I mean, unless, you know, when you lose the champion, you feel better, because as you can say, like, I'm the next best team sort of thing, but I feel like if we would have beat the Canucks, we probably would have won the Stanley Cup. So definitely a little bit heartbreaking. Forgot to check the AHL team. They did not win the Calder Cup. It was actually the Grand Rapids Griffins there. So we'll take a look at the final awards, guys. The playoff tree, record book, all of that. You got Boston there picking first overall now. I can't believe that. I mean, the empty netter doesn't really count, right? So lose by 1 in 7, conference final, and then the team that beats us goes on to win the cup. Absolutely heartbreaking. Lafreniere there, the guy who got the deadline, led in scoring 21 and 16. He wanted it bad. That sucks. Marner was over a point per game. Forsberg there, even at, what is he now, 37 was a point per game. Stenberg was close. Again, Diorio was a beast. He got basically half his goals in one game. Hughes, Misa also there, also doing very well. We stuck with Prust. He didn't do great for us. Below 900 save percentage. I mean, he's up to a 90 overall. Poise is only 76. Maybe that was what it was. I don't know. Like, all of his other stats, though, are really solid. Saros there when he came in, though, was not great. He was actually kind of terrible. So I think Prust was still the move there in the playoffs. Now, look at the playoff tree here, guys. You got the Canucks beating the Kraken in 6, Oilers in 7, us in 7, and then they swept the Senators. I mean, yeah. If we beat the Canucks, I'm pretty positive we win the Stanley Cup, so that just sucks to see. I should mention, too, the Philadelphia Flyers there actually beat the Hurricanes in the second round, so kind of like an unceremonious end there to their dynasty. Now, in terms of the awards here, guys, of course, the Canucks are the first team to win the Cup other than the Hurricanes since the Oilers 5 years ago. President's Trophy, we won it back-to-back, like, best team in the regular season, and just no playoff success. Not even a single clearance as Campbell. Like, that is just so tough. Individual awards here, Matthews, 4th straight Art Ross, absolutely unreal. 4th straight Hart. James Norris, of course, went to Quinn Hughes, who was on Ottawa. Matthews, Lady Bing. Prust did get the Calder, so that's pretty cool. Zibanejad, Conn Smythe. I mean, we saw how good he was doing against us. Prust got the Vezina. Again, big year for us. William Jennings, Prust, and Saros. So Saros got it back-to-back years there. Bill Masterton, the Fiddler. Interesting. Sens player gets it since, you know, they're doing well. Mike Sullivan got the Jack Adams. Beniers there, Selke. Matthews, Ted Lindsay, as well as the Maurice Richard. So again, guys, just, you know, kind of a heartbreaking end there to this series, but sometimes that happens. Sometimes the sim isn't kind to you, and no matter how good of a team you make, you're just going to get unlucky. And individual awards here, you got Martino on the Abbotsford Canucks, getting most points and MVP. So Canucks are looking to have a pretty good team. I'm just curious to see if we potentially got anything, but it doesn't look to be the case. Normally, too, guys, I'd show you the coach, but I mean, we know we didn't win a Stanley Cup. Plus, with real coaches, the stats are no longer kind of just your team. So I'll show you the record book. Also, too, one thing that's kind of funny. Some people are saying about, like, you know, going further, but I kind of do the contracts knowing it's going to end at 8 years. As you can see, so many players expiring. Our team is going to be absolutely dismantled. Hughes wants 10 mil. Svechkov wants 10. Lafreniere wants 10. Cripps wants 10. Marner wants 10. I think Tapper wants 7. I'm trying to see anyone else. Puhaka there wanted 7. And then our goalie in Prust, I think he wanted like 13 million. I'm not sure what all that adds up to. It's about 70 million, and we've got like 30. So we're going to lose half of our team. It's just, the team was built, you know, to go for it in that 8th year. Basically no longer. Now, like I was saying, guys, in terms of the record book here, so Philip Forsberg goes down as an all-time Pred. Most seasons there at 20. Games played as well. He's closing in on Roman Josi. He's only 50 back. Goals is Philip Forsberg. Assists Forsberg. Points is Forsberg. Penalty minutes is even Forsberg. Wins there is Saros, which makes a lot of sense. Shout out to Saros Pecorine. Saros would actually need 9 more to catch him. In terms of the season awards, Brant Clark getting the games is kind of funny. Forsberg most goals, 61. That was in 2026. Marner assists, 2028. Forsberg points, 2026. Penalty minutes, 90-97. Patrick Cote, or Cote, I'm actually not sure who that is. Wins though, Saros, 2030, 57. He also had 10 shutouts that year. In terms of rookie stats, Stenberg had the most goals. Misa, most assists and points. Prust, most wins and shutouts. That was this year. The fact that this guy, I mean, he could have won the Calder, I just realized. I was talking about, you know, goalie never winning it. The dude just won the Vezina his rookie season and didn't win the Calder, so I think that shows you that you cannot win the Calder as a goalie. As they gave it to a player on our team who only had 30 points, opposed to the goalie that won the Vezina. Like, that's kind of wild. Forsberg had a 5-goal game, 2027. Points in that game. Marek Zidlicki, though, supposed to assist with 5. That name's like a blast from the past. Forsberg also has most points with 6 in 2028. Somehow didn't get an assist, I guess, in the game he had 5 goals. And then Saros there, most saves, 2022. 64. That's incredible. I think I actually do remember that game. Now, I'll take a look, guys, at the entire NHL. So, games played. Sid there's at 3. Goalies, Fleury finished 2nd. Hellebuck's actually at 5 now. Goals, of course, Ovi and Matthews break Gretzky's record. Again, we saw what Matthews was doing. I mean, Pasternak closing in on him, only 50 back. With injuries off and all these players playing, you know, well into their late 30s, I think it actually makes a ton of sense. Most points there. You got Sid going down, number 2 all time. McDavid's at 5. Kind of wild. Crosby's also number 2 assists all time. Kopitar's at 5. Okay, wins there. Fleury was 2. Hellebuck at 4. Shutouts there, nobody knew. 50-goal seasons. Matthews has the most now at 10. Ovi tied Mike Bossy and Wayne Gretzky before retiring. Pasternak's at 8. 100-point seasons. McDavid closing on Gretzky, of course, still playing. Draisaitl, Matthews at 10. So, yeah, pretty cool season, guys. Again, I think we did, you know, settle at least one mystery. Can you win the Calder as a rookie? The answer looks to be no. Can you win the Stanley Cup with the Nashville Predators? You definitely can. You just got to get a bit more lucky, I think, than we did. But I had a lot of fun with this series, guys. Thought we built some pretty cool teams. As always, let me know in the comment section which team I should use next. I'll have a poll, letting you guys vote on it. And hopefully we'll have a bit more success with whichever team you guys choose. But until then, if you guys enjoyed the series, leave that thumbs up. Again, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.